Hey, hi everyone.
Hi everyone, another 2 minutes and then we'll start.
Meanwhile, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Anusha.
All right, thank you.
Hmm. I think we should start.
This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone, thank you all for joining this session. My name is Mahima and I'll be your host for this session. Before we start, I would request everyone to go on mute, and in case you have any questions, you can send them through chat box or you can unmute and ask. And also, please do not turn your video cameras. Okay. Let me quickly take you through Tech Canvas first. So, Tech Canvas is an IT certifications training organization for professionals where we help them to crack their certification exams in the first attempt. So, we are also IIBA endorsed and we are PMI authorized. We offer certification trainings for courses like CBAP, CCBA, PMP, CAPM, CBDA, and more. We also have domain courses into banking, finance, healthcare, etc. All right, talking about today's session, it's quite helpful for people who are interested in project management industry. We have with us Anusha Mohan, who's an accomplished project manager with more than 6 years of international and domestic experience and consultant roles, having worked with different IT giants like EY and Deltex. So I would request Anusha to take this session ahead, and thank you all for joining.
Yep. Thank you, Mahima. All right,
Over to
guys.
you, Anusha.
Yep. Thank you. Good morning, good evening. This is Anusha, and thank you for the introduction, Mahima. Though, as you guys know, I carry an experience of close to 7 years in project management industry, and I have been working with, I have worked with Dell Technologies, EY, and currently working with an organization which is at CMMI level 5. It's IQVIA. So today's session is going to be all about what exactly is PMP exam, a kind of overview. I'm just going to run you through the overview as to what exactly is PMP exam and what are the benefits around that. And post that, I am going to solve few questions for you guys for you to understand how are we supposed to solve or go through a question when we see one in PMP exam. All right. So to start with, what is PMP, the project management professional, as we say? So the project management professional or PMP, it's the world leading project management certification. So it's include productive, agile, and hybrid approaches. So the PMP exam proves project leadership experiences and expertise in any way of working. So basically, it supercharges your career as a project manager or a project leader across industries and helps organization find the people they need to work smarter and perform better with. So just think of PMP as a catalyst for your career. If you really want to grow as a project management manager, PMP is the exam for you. Now, what is PMP? What exactly we do in this exam? I know that most of you guys, since you have joined the webinar, and the webinar is all about solving the questions for the PMP. So you might be knowing all of those which I'm about to say, or might be a repetition for all of you guys, but just trying to give you a gist of what exactly happens in there. So basically, according to the PMI, employers will need to fill nearly 2.2 million new project oriented roles each year, and it's going to be through 2027. So 2.2 million new project oriented roles. So this means the skilled project managers are in high demand. Now, the PMP certification is designed by project professionals for project professionals, and it validates that you are among the best, which means you are highly skilled. So, if you're a PMP certified professional, that means you are those chosen ones from the Lord who are highly skilled. And let me remind you guys, not everybody is a PMP certified professional. So, in current PMP exam, there are three sections which you really need to look into, which is people, process, and business environment. So, when you say people, it is more of emphasizing the soft skills you need to effectively lead a project team in today's changing environment. So nothing but your soft skills. How do you manage the team? How do you, portray your teamwork? What exactly happens when you're a part of a team? And your team can be starting from 3 to 4 people. Two can go to 227 folks in a particular team. So you have to showcase how exactly you handle the team. What exactly are your soft skills? So the other thing is process. So, reinforcing the technical aspects of successfully managing projects. So, how do you manage a project? What can be done to manage a project? What process needs to be followed? Everything will be described in process section. And the third one is business environment, which is nothing but highlighting the connection between the project and organizational strategy. Business environment also gives us an overview of how to deal with people in a cross functional environment and making sure that the businesses are aligned as per the project. Apart from these, project leadership skills and what the employers seek for. So there are three key approaches this time in PMP exam: predictive, which is waterfall, the other one is agile, and the third one is hybrid. So in this exam, we are going to focus on these three key approaches: waterfall, which is predictive, agile, and then hybrid. Now moving on to why the PMP exam. Like what how does it help? Even if I'm not a PMP certified, I am going to be a project manager anyhow, right? So just to give you a gist of it, PMP is going to add value to your career. So I'm not sure if you guys have heard about CIO magazine. It is one of the world leading magazines which basically publishes the certifications and what happens. So according to those that magazine has ranked the PMP as the top project management certification in North America because it demonstrates you to have the specific skills employers seek, the dedication to excellence, and the capacity to perform at the highest level. So that is how it adds value. And guys, it is not just the boundaries are not just limited to India or to Australia or to America. Because of PMP exam, and since it is world recognized exam, the boundaries are there are no boundaries. It's all over the world. If you're PMP certified, you can get a job anywhere as a project manager. Now, the second point is the PMP delivers benefit. So the median salary for project professional is around 25% higher than those who do not have a PMP certification in hand. So 25%. Even if you're earning 1 lakh per month, you can automatically earn 1,25,000 just because you have done a certification. And the third thing is the PMP proves you work smarter. So it shows you have the skills to drive business results. So this exam is not just an exam, you go ahead and give an exam and be done with it. It also shows that you have the skill to drive the business result and increase your organization's impact in the office and around the world. So not just that, it is also going to help you how are you going to work around in the organization. Now that I have told you guys what is PMP and why it is important, just going to give you a gist of how the exam looks like. So the exam is comprised of 180 questions. So the previous exam was 200, but the same number of questions will be scored. It's going to be 230 minutes to complete the exam. So you need to complete, let's say, one question, you will have ample of time, at least 1 minute. So they have also introduced one additional break for a total of 10 minutes break for computer-based test. So there's no break for paper-based exams, guys. This 10 minutes breaks, those 2 breaks are only for computer-based. And the other one is question will be a combination of multiple choice, multiple response, matching, hot area, and limited fill in the blanks. So there's no pattern per se for the exam. It can have multiple choice, multiple response, matching, hot areas, anything can be there. All right. Okay, so moving on to solving the questions for you all. Let me just open that. Okay, so this is how the Tech Canvas simulator looks like if you go to my courses. All right. As you can see, and as I told you, there are three domains in the new PMP exam, which is people, process, and business environment, wherein people comprises of 42% of the lot. So those 180 questions which you're about to get, 42% will be from the people domain. For the process domain, it's going to be 50%, and for the business environment, it's going to be 8% only. That doesn't mean that we need to leave the business environment part. We still have to make sure that we read it carefully, because there are times when this 8% is going to make sure that you pass the exam. All righty. Okay. So I'm just going to walk you through the exam and the question answers, and you can just let me know what exactly is the, how is exactly is going to be the answer. So you can also give me the answers if you guys want to. So to start with, a project that should have been 90% complete by now is only 84% complete. The total project budget is 110,000 US dollars, and the actual cost is $82,000. What is the schedule performance index and cost performance index for this? And I'm sure you guys might need 1-2 minutes to solve this. If you want to give me the answer, you can just drop it in the chat and Mahima can let me know. So any idea what will be the answer to this question? Mahima, are we getting any messages on chat?
Yeah, if you guys have any doubts, you can use the chat box.
Yeah, guys, I want you guys to give me an answer so that I can explain why is which answer correct and why is which answer wrong. Just trying to make it a bit, Anybody wants to answer this? Okay. All right. So I'm just going to walk you through the questions and then maybe give you an answer to some random questions so that you know what exactly it is. This is all going to be, okay, let's take this one since it was a numerical. A project manager receives a confirmation that the project manager office, which is PMO lead, that his ongoing predictive lifecycle project and other projects will be transitioning to agile lifecycle projects. What should the project manager do to make sure that the team will work in a collaborative way as a unit and with other project team members? Now, generally, what happens, you will see these 4 options here. Inform the project management office, which is PMO lead. You can also allocate the time to mentor all the team members. You can also appoint senior most team members to mentor the entire team and update the issue register or risk register. So these are the possible, options you have in place right now. So let's go through the question again. A project manager receives a confirmation from the project management office lead that his ongoing predictive lifecycle project and other projects will be transitioning to agile lifecycle project. So now, initially they were handling waterfall, now they are transferring to agile. So what should the project manager do to make sure that the team will work in a collaborative way as a unit? So now, as a project manager, what are we supposed to do? We can go to the project manager, PMO, the project management office, and tell them to assign the mentors. This is also correct. This can be a way to go. The second point is we can allocate the time to mentor all the team members. That is also correct. according to me. We can also appoint senior most team members to mentor the entire team. This also looks correct to me. Update the issue register and the risk register. This is something which I should be doing. This is also can be a correct solution to this, but not the immediate solution to this, is what I think. So if we rule out, the fourth one, which is update the issue register and risk register, though it can be an immediate one, what do you guys think should be the answer? A, inform the project management office. B, allocate the time to mentor all the team members. Or 3, appoint senior most team members to mentor the entire team. Guys, can I have an answer from you all? Just showing it to you again. What can be done if we are supposed to transfer from predictive life cycle to agile life cycle? What should be your immediate next step to follow that? Anybody? If you want to unmute, go ahead and unmute and give me the answer to that. A. Somebody said A. Inform the project management office, lead to assign mentors for team members. Okay. Anybody else? See, that's how it's going to be confusing for you in the PMP exam. So let's see what is the, yes, somebody is about to give me an answer. Okay. Let's see what the answer is for this particular question where you were at domain. Okay. See, the answer for this question is allocate the time to mentor all the team members. Now, I'm just going to explain you why the second option is correct in this one and why that we were thinking that A, C, and D can also be a possible answer. Now, so the project manager here will allocate the time to mentor all the team members. Now, to start with the first option, inform the project management office, lead to assign mentors for his team members. This is something which will be in there in the team. Since you are a project manager and your company has started following Agile, there can be the case that people already have Agile mentors in the team. Okay. But now that we know that the company was always following a predictive life cycle, as written in the question, it says ongoing predictive life cycle project. So guys, look into the words of the question. It says ongoing predictive life cycle. So there's no way that the company was following Agile. So now if my organization is not following Agile at all in a particular project or two projects or all the projects, I would need somebody to mentor me, right? So we would need some time to understand what is Agile life cycle. So that is why option B is correct. Now, looking at option C, which is appoint senior most team members to mentor the entire team. If the senior most team member is also working on the same project, he will also be working on the predictive life cycle, right? He will not be knowing about the Agile life cycle if he's working on the same project, be the case that he's the senior most one. And coming to the option D, update the issue register and the risk register. Yes, as a project manager, you're supposed to do that as well because it can be a part of a risk. Because you're going to take some time to understand Agile life cycle. But D option is not going to be your immediate step. Once you see from predictive to Agile, it's not going to be your immediate step. It's going to be a step, but maybe after 2 or 3 steps that needs to be followed. So that is why answer B is correct here. Now, I'm sorry, I have the answers in place. Let me just I cannot, let me try and skip the answers again for you guys. Okay, let's take this one. Okay, this is how the answers are going to come. When you see a graph answer, you just have to click it here if the answer is B or C. Just giving you an overview here. So let's take this question. Yeah. So as a project manager, you arranged a meeting to present your project charter to your sponsors, stakeholders, and clients. You did so through a slide presentation that includes supporting media, and you made sure you leave time for questions and answers. What is the purpose of a project charter? Okay, you guys know what is project charter. Okay, now what is the purpose? To formally authorize a project or a phase and document initial requirements that satisfy the stakeholders' need and expectations. Option B is to describe the process of performing the work defined in the project management plan in order to achieve the project's objective. Option 3 is to document how the project will be planned, executed, monitored, controlled, and closed. Or the fourth option is to link the project, which is going to be planned, executed, and monitored, controlled, to the ongoing work of the organization. Now, to start with, what is a project charter? So, if you see a project charter, also known as project statement or project definition, is a statement of the scope, objectives, and participants in a project. So basically, a project charter provides you a preliminary, delineation of roles and responsibilities, or it outlines the project key goals, identifies the main stakeholders, and define the authority of the project manager. So nothing but the first initial document, which is going to help you understand what are the boundaries as a project manager, what are your responsibilities, and what are the key goals of the project. So can I have an answer for this question, guys? Anybody of you, if you want to just, try and giving an answer to the question. And it can be multiple choice as well. There can be more than one answer, which is more than one option, which is correct. So just, focus and understand what can be the purpose of a project charter, since we know the definition of project charter and what it does. So meanwhile, I'm just going to explain you the options, see if you can give me an answer to this. To formally authorize a project or a phase and document initial requirement that satisfy the stakeholders' need and expectations. So it says initial requirements that satisfy the stakeholders' need and expectations. Initial. Now the confusion arises, if you say initial, is it going to be a contract or SOW, or is it going to be a project charter? The other option is to describe the process of performing the work defined in the project management plan in order to achieve the project's objective. Now, to describe the process of performing the work defined. This is something which we can think of as relatable. Third one is to document how the project will be planned, executed, monitored, controlled, and closed. Now, the question arises, does project charter has documents which is going to help us understand how the project is even getting closed? Is that something which a project charter should have? And the fourth option is to link the project, which is going to be planned, executed, and monitored and controlled on the ongoing work of the organization. So to link the project, which is going to be planned. Now, is project charter something which is going to help us link the project, how we are supposed to work on it? So let's see the answer to the second question. Meanwhile, guys, any idea what is going? Okay, since it's upcoming and not implemented. Okay. All right. Anybody wants to take a guess here? This is the question. You want to read it again? Read it and give me, just give me a guess. What do you think should be the right answer, or what do you think should be two right answers?
I think it should be option A.
All right. Anybody else? Okay, let's see what is going to be the answer for this question. People. Oops, sorry, I opened the previous one. It's going to be this one, I think. Yeah. All right. I am not sure who has given me the answer, but your answer was correct. So, the project charter is defined as a document issued by the project sponsor, guys, that formally authorize the existence of a project. So always remember, project charter is not just one document. It is going to make sure that you are now formally have to start working on a project. The project exists. This is a formal document for that. So when the question said, as a project manager, you arranged a meeting to present your project charter to your sponsor, stakeholders, and clients. It was a slide presentation that includes supporting media. You made sure you leave time for question and answer. What is the purpose of a project charter? To start with, to formally authorize a project or a phase and document initial requirements. So there are two catch for this answer. One is formal authorization. The other one is initial requirement. These are the two catch for this answer. Wherein, if you see other options, to describe the process of performing the work defined in the project management plan, project charter is before that. Project management plan as a document comes post project charter. Now, if we look at the C option, to document how the project will be planned, executed, monitored, and closed. Now, this is something which I said in the earlier note as well. Project charter is going to give us a formal, it's going to be a formal document. It is going to provide us, it is going to give us the authority to apply resources to project activities. Basically, it's an authorization in a form of a document that you should start the project. This is how you're supposed to work on a project. But a project charter will never tell you how to plan, execute, and close or monitor or control a project. Same goes with the option to link the project, which is going to be planned, executed, and monitored, control on to the ongoing work of the organization. This is something which a project charter will not help in. So that is why whosoever have said that, A is the correct answer to this. All right, moving on to the next one. Guys, feel free to drop me a question if you have any. I am just making sure that, we understand the questions here. Okay, all right. Another question. For the time-bound high management visibility construction project. Okay, so the first thing which you have to look into this question is time-bound high management visibility. There is a reason why these 4 or 5 words are there in that question. And you might know the reason later on once you go through the whole question and options, sorry. One senior electrician and his supervisor argued on the technical aspect. Later, it turned out to be a major conflict. Now, you guys, in short, know where the question is going. It can be a question related to conflict management because it specifically says that there's a conflict. And they both raised individual complaints to the project manager. What should the project manager do to resolve the conflicting situations now? Okay, very generic situation which a project manager come across almost most of the time in a project. You have two people working under you, and they both have argued on mostly it's developers and developers and testers. So and they have come to you for everything. Now what should you be doing? So the first option is utilize autocratic decision making techniques and depute the senior electrician to another construction project. The second option is involve resource management department and issue warning letters for both. The third option is utilize a direct and collaborative approach with the senior electrician and his supervisor. And the fourth option is consult other supervisors to understand technical aspects, confront with the senior electrician and his supervisor. So, any guesses here? So it's a conflict management question wherein you need to know how to manage a conflict. So what should be your immediate step to this? So before that, just remind you. I'm just reminding you guys about the 5 conflict resolution techniques. If you know, it's gonna be withdraw, smooth or accommodate. It's going to be compromise, which is the third one. Fourth one is force or direct. Fifth one is collaborate or solve problem. Now, as a project manager, what you should be doing? Utilize autocratic decision-making technique, which is nothing but direct or forced way of telling people that you have to do this in a project and depute the senior electrician to another construction project. I'm sorry. The other one is involve resource management department and issue warning letters for both, which is also a form of handling a technique and how we are going to, which is basically withdraw or avoid. We just go back to the management and tell them to issue a letter. That's it. The third is utilize a direct and collaborative approach with the senior electrician and his supervisor, which I think is going to be a better option because we are looking for a collaborative approach because these people are going to be the ones working on the project. Fourth one, consult other supervisors to understand technical aspects, confront with the senior electrician and his supervisor. Now you know it's going to be a very easy answer for you guys. Can I have the answers from you all? What do you guys think can be the answer to this? Anybody? Okay, C. I see a lot of people telling me that it's going to be C. Okay, let's check this. Okay, so most of you guys are correct. Reason being, once you come across a conflict in a project or in an organization, the first approach as a project manager should always be working as a team, being into a collaborative approach or space where what we do is, as a project manager or on a ground reality, even if these type of questions are asked in our interviews as well, the go-to solution is have these two people sit in a meeting room, understand what is the issue from both the ends, and come to a point where both of them agrees to your solution. So, collaborative approach. You do not go for autocratic decision making technique, which is the A option. You do not go for autocratic decision making technique until and unless it is hampering your project in a way that your project is about to, or no, it has already went off in terms of budget and timeline. Option B involved resource management department. Resource management department can only issue a warning letter or can provide you rules around how to handle different resources, but the conflict will never be resolved even in that case. The third one is utilize a direct and collaborative approach with the senior electrician and his supervisor, which is a correct one. And D, consult other supervisors to understand technical aspects, confront with the senior electrician and his supervisor. This is something which can be a part of your solution, but cannot be a sole solution to your conflict. So that is why the most correct or the most or the next the immediate next step which you should be doing as a project manager is option C, which is utilize a direct and collaborative approach with the senior electrician and his supervisor. All right. So now this is going to be a last question. I'm going to pick another one from the lot. So guys, if you want to give me the answer, because this is going to be a last question from the lot. Okay, this is somewhere around Agile. So as I told you guys, if you're studying PMP, Agile is something that you really need to go through as well, because it is going to be not a huge chunk, but a chunk in your PMP exam. So he is responsible for guiding the direction of the product and ranks the work based on its business value. He works with the teams daily by providing product feedback and setting direction on the next piece of functionality to be delivered. Which role of Agile is being talked here? Is it process owner? Is it team facilitator? Is it product owner? Or is it a team member? Let's try to not get the answer here. Let's try to rule out what we think cannot be an option here. So he is responsible for guiding the direction of the product. Guiding. So team members can be the one working in collaboration but cannot guide you towards a direction. And ranks the work based on its business value. So team members, according to me, is out of question now. Now, he works with the teams daily by providing product feedback and setting direction on the next piece of functionality to be delivered. So somebody who's going to provide you products feedback. So it can be a product owner, it can be a team facilitator. Now, can it be a process owner? I think it can be a process owner as well, because he is going to be setting direction on the next piece of functionality to be delivered. So any guesses on this one? Guys, any guesses here? Okay, I see product owner. Somebody has said product owner. Okay, process owner. I see a lot of people are saying process owner. Okay, so basically all of us are confused between A and C, I think. So A is process owner and C is product owner. So team member and team facilitator is out of the question now, according to all of us. So let's see the answer for this. Sorry. Okay, guys. C. So the answer is C. Now we need to know what is the difference between a process owner and a product owner, and why few of you decided that process owner can be an right answer. So to start with, what does a product owner does and what does a process owner does? So the process owner basically takes care of end-to-end process. Okay. So a process owner is a person, guys, hear me out, who is solely responsible for owning a process. Okay. Here we are just not talking about the process, we are also talking about the product feedback. So the process owner is somebody who's going to be accountable for designing an effective and efficient process for you guys. He's going to make sure that you have the right set of people, right set of resources in terms of technical or financial to run through the process, or if you're delivering quality outcomes, or what exactly you're doing. But he's not going to help you with the product. He's only going to help you with the process. Now, what does a product owner does? A product owner is somebody who's going to provide you details around the product and not just and not the process. Sorry. This is a huge difference, guys. It's just not the difference between the names. A product owner is somebody who's going to be responsible for the project's outcome as well. Okay. So if you see, process owner is somebody who's going to solely look into the process, but a product owner is going to look into the process as well as product feedback and make sure that the project outcome is as per what is committed to the client. So that is the reason answer C is correct, which is product owner. Guys, any question around this particular question? Because I know there will be a lot of confusion. All right. So in the interest of time, Sarprakunang is more appropriate. Okay. So in the interest of time, I am just going to wrap up this question answer session. Do you guys have any questions for me? Maima, can you see if there are any questions? Guys, if you have any questions around, the whole session, if you see that there were questions wherein you thought the answer was different. So if you have all of that, please shoot. This is your time.
Hi Anusha, this is Shomita. Thank you so much for the session. It was really nice. And I was just wondering if we, probably have one more session like this and we could have more questions, it'll be really helpful. This was overall, this was the first time I attended something like this. But if we can, try some more questions, I think should be great. And also, probably we have time constraint today, but I would like to understand, how to do the time management when it comes to attempting 180 questions. So probably if you have, or Tech Canvas has planned anything next upcoming, just a suggestion, it'll be really helpful.
Sure thing. I can. I'm really sorry, Maima. I can take it as a feedback, and we can surely look for scheduling more sessions like this. But just getting back to the first or second line of your feedback, you are looking for time management and how to
Yes.
cover those 180 questions in what 230
Yes.
minutes. So
Yes.
just make sure that, and this is an advice, kind of. Just make sure that do not waste more than 1 minute on a question. If you think you do not have the answer for that question, just probably mark or flag that question and skip to another one. Okay. And once
Okay.
you are sure that you have completed some set of questions wherein you knew the answer, you can go back to the flagged ones. That is the first thing you can do. Second thing,
Oh,
and that is when you are actually giving the PMP exam. But before that, if you really need to work on your time management skills, follow the same thing in a simulator as well. Okay. And do as much as, practice exams or simulators or sessions before the exam so that you know where you're lacking in terms of time management.
okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Yes, Maima, you were saying something.
Yeah, I was saying that we host webinars every Wednesday and Saturday, wherein we take up such question as also we clear the doubts also. So you can say check out our events page for such upcoming webinars also.
Sure, ma'am.
Great.
All right. Any more questions?
Yeah, Anusha, I think there are some in the comment section. If you can have a look.
Yes, please. Okay. Okay. How many agile questions are there in the exam? All right. So there are, and I'm not sure who is asking this question, but there are no percentage as per se, that this percent or these many questions are going to be agile questions in PMP exam or this percentage. There's nothing like that. But people say, and people do, agile is included, and people say that. And nobody's sure about that. It's just something that, and PMI doesn't say yes to this whole concept. People say that 70% is predictive or waterfall and 30% is agile. Few say that 50% is predictive or 50% is agile and hybrid. What I have seen in my PMB exam, I think 70% was again predictive and 30% was agile. But you never know, because there are a lot of sets that are made in PMP exams. So there are few folks who put in agile questions more in a particular set. So maybe a person sitting next to you giving the same exam will have a different set of questions, maybe 50% agile, 50% predictive. And a person, and you, on the other hand, will be getting, let's say, 90% predictive and 10% agile. So there's no percentage or no number per se as per PMI. Okay. The second question is at least a short briefing about types of questions and the important areas. MJ, I'm not sure if you have joined a bit late, but I did provide the areas or the domains, people, process, and business environment, from where we can expect the questions. If you want me to provide you a brief around how many questions from a particular process or how many processes you have to go through or the inputs and outputs of those processes, that was something which can be done. But since PMI right now is focusing more on process, people, and business environment, that's why that we can surely have another webinar wherein we can just provide you a brief introduction, I'm sorry, a brief overview of what are the types of questions we can expect. But for now, most of them are situational based. Then there will be few which will be diagram like, wherein you have to click on a particular option and then there will be few which will be numericals. Yes. Are there any calculation questions? Yes. There will be at least 3 to 4 calculation Mali questions wherein you have to calculate. You have to literally use a pen and paper and calculate, divide, subtract, multiply. So those are going to be a type of questions there in the PMP exam. The other question is how long to prepare or revise for the exam. If you are preparing for the exam, take at least, and if you're working while you're preparing, take at least 6 months. Go through PMBOK once, then switch to Rita Malkahi. Rita Malkahi, why? Because PMBOK is going to give you a brief overview of what happens in a project management professional exam. But why Rita Malkahi? Rita Malkahi is an alternative or a substitute as well. Rita is going to give you questions and scenarios as to what you need to do. So go with PMBOK first, then go to Rita Malkahi, then again PMBOK, then go to simulators or exams and see which area you lack, and then go back to the books or the notes or the chits or sticky notes, whatever you have made. All right. I think I have answered all the questions. Any more questions, guys, for me? Is the class virtual or physical? Maima, can you answer this question? Is the class virtual or physical?
The classes are completely online.
All right. Any more questions? We have still got 3 minutes left before the session ends. Can a project management pursuing person directly go to Rita Malkahi work? Pursuing person directly. I'm not sure what you mean by project management pursuing person. Somebody who's already studying project management. You cannot go to Rita Malkahi directly, frankly, guys. You have to go through PMBOK. PMBOK is your Bible. If you have not read PMBOK, if you means in career profile. Okay. No, if you have not read PMBOK, you should never go for Rita directly. Go for PMBOK first because it is going to be a Bible as a project manager. And then go to Rita and go to any substitute. You should ideally be focusing on both of them for now. PMBOK 6 and 7 have the same content. Is just previously the content was divided in terms of processes. Now the content is divided in terms of domains, which is people and business environment. And I'm sorry, I forgot the third part. So it is more or less the same content in both the PMBOK 6 and PMBOK 7. It's just the domain. Now they have introduced domain. Version 6 is not downloadable. If you're a PMI member, it is. If you're not a PMI member, I'm not sure if it is down, if you can download it or not. Mahima, can you let me know the answer for PMBOK 6?
You can check out our website or reach out to us at info@techcanvas.com, and Brijesh sir will clear all your queries.
So guys, if in case you need PMBOK 6 from Tech Canvas, you have to reach out to them. You'd have to just send them an email on info@techcanvas.com or just give them a call here.
Surely.
Okay, even if simulator score is around 65 to 70%, still PMBOK to be referred first. Yes, please. Even if the simulator score is around 65 to 70%. Because, see, understand one thing, guys. Okay. When you're giving the exam and when you are giving the exam in a simulator or in an environment wherein you're sitting at home and you know that this is not the final exam, and even if you don't pass, it is going to be okay. That scenario or that mental space is different from the mental space you will be in when you will be actually giving the PMP exam. Okay. So you need to have all the basic knowledge from PMBOK so that once you go through the question in your main PMP exam or in your actual PMP exam, you will be able to think wisely around the question. So most of the questions have hidden words in them. So if it's hidden words, PMBOK is the one who's going to help you with those hidden words in the question. Even if you're scoring 70% or 80% in simulator, you should and you must go to PMBOK. Okay, any more questions? In my PMP application, can I take the test immediately even though there's a proctor? Yeah, you can opt for PMP exam immediately. If you're looking for a computer based, which is proctor based, it entirely depends upon the availability of the proctor, but mostly people get it within a week. If it's going to be a paper based, then also I think if your application is through, then you can look for giving PMP in a week. I mean, it should not take more than that. But make sure that you have the green signal in your mind to go ahead and give PMP exam. Because even if your application is through, you can still wait for another 2-3 months and be prepared first and then give the exam. But if you think you are prepared and your PMP application is through, I think proctor based will give you slot in a week, and paper based is going to give you a slot. Paper based is going to give you a slot in a month or so. Okay, any more questions? How long it takes to clear the PMP application? It entirely depends upon the audits. So basically, when you put a PMP application, it's somebody sitting on the other hand, making sure that all the details which are provided is correct or not. Generally, it takes around 4 to 5 working days. But it can also go up to 1 week or so. Okay. Yep. Maima, over to you.
Thank you everyone for joining. It was a wonderful session, and Tech Canvas holds webinars every Wednesday and Saturday. So stay tuned. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone.